Right, just a little video on cutting out. This is my rotary cutter. I got one that you can lock shut, and then you unlock it to open it, and then it just, yeah, so you hold it when you cut in. I never lock it open, but I always lock it shut. Got a ruler for cutting fabric, and we're using a cutting mat. So I've got some fabric here ready to cut. There, so I've got one piece of fabric that's folded over, so I'm making a cut through 2 pieces of fabric. They do say you can cut through 8, but I usually just cut through 2. So I'm going to put my ruler down, and that's the fold line of my fabric. So I'm going to straighten this edge by putting any of these solid lines, doesn't matter which one, along the top, so that I know that that's straight, and then the cut up here will straighten off the edge. So I'm making sure that I've got fabric under it all. So I'm going to unlock my cutter, and when you open your cutter, you start cutting just before, put the cutter down just before the beginning of the fabric, and you cut till just after the end. So I'm holding that now, so I'm ready to cut. Got my hands down on holding my ruler firmly and making the cut, and then move away the fabric. Now before you start, you should really read all the safety instructions that come with you with your equipment, especially the cutter. Don't ever put it down with the cutters open, but make sure you have read the safety instructions and follow them. And you always cut away from yourself. You don't want to be coming in towards yourself with the blade. Now there are 2 ways people use cutters and boards. Some people use the markings on the boards, and some people use the markings on the ruler. I like to use the markings on the ruler, but if you want to use the markings on the board, you can. You'd need to line it up with the straight line there. Make sure that was straight there. And then you could put your ruler down. Let's say we wanted a 3-inch strip, so you count 1, 2, 3, make sure count twice, and then you're using the line that's going on the board. So putting my hand down again, start just before and continue till just afterwards, and then you don't move this fabric, you move this fabric away, because you're keeping that now nice and still. If I was using the ruler, I could take my ruler and any straight line on the ruler across the top, and then whichever 1, 2, 3, if we wanted 3 inches, take it in. If you wanted 4 or 3.5 or whatever. So we'll cut another 3-inch strip from here. Now, well, actually I'm left-handed, so I use either side, so I cut this way, but probably if you're right-handed you would need to turn your work so that when you using the ruler, so the same thing, straight line. I'm not using the board now, I'm using the ruler, and start just before and cut it just afterwards. There's lots of different ways of doing this. People will tell you different ways. Safety is the most important thing. I did see somebody online using a glove with like little grippers on, so that they could be safely holding their ruler. My ruler's got little grippers underneath, so that helps hold it onto the fabric, because it's about holding the ruler still while you're working, and you need to have your weight sort of over the ruler so that you can hold the weight down, and then the hand then is quite a over the top of your work. The best way to work is on a flat cutting surface that is the same height as a kitchen counter, because then you're not leaning over and hurting your back. So that's it for that at the moment. Bye.